I'm Eddie Epp. I was born on December 10th, 1924. And people say, wow. And I say, that's right. That's 35 years ago. That makes me 35. 45, I should say, sorry.
95.
95. I was never very good at math. 95, yeah. I was around when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and that was enough to set me off to say, I'm going into the military. I want to be there. Had two brothers, John and Martin. Those two guys were in already. John was with the 3rd Armored Division. Martin was with a bomb group in the Pacific Ocean on a little island called Baraboo. I believe that was called. That's where he was based. And with my two oldest brothers in the military, there was nothing going to keep me out from going in. My brothers were there. I wanted to be there. And you could not enlist at that time. They stopped enlistments. And the reason they did was they got flooded with young men volunteering to go into the military, and they didn't have any place to put them yet. They hadn't built the barracks, and they weren't just ready for them. So they said, okay, from now on, you have to come in through the draft. When your number is called, and we all had a draft number, when your number is called, you report, and you'll be sworn in, and you too will be in the enlistment, be an enlisted man. And that's how I got in. I waited to be called, and when I was called, I didn't take very long to pack a little bag with some socks, some underthings, a couple of T-shirts, and whoosh, I was gone. And I'll never forget that day. My mother has two boys already in. Here goes her last boy. He's gone. As I left goodbye to my mother, I kissed her goodbye. I went down off the stoop and started up the street, and I turned around to wave, and my mother was in the window crying. The last boy. And that was a heartbreaker for her as the war went on. All three of us wound up in a war zone. Me, I was assigned to the ETO, the European Theater. John, he too was assigned to the ETO with the 3rd Armored Division. Marty, he was assigned to the Pacific Theater, which was a war zone. My mother knew all these things. And for her to sit home at night and wait for the news to come through, and knowing what casualties were taken in a particular war zone, she must have lost all kinds of sleep. I'm sure she did. But I went in, I was assigned to the Air Force Military Museum. It was an air group. The 8th Air Force had not yet been formed. As we know, the Air Force today, we call it the Air Force. We didn't call it the Air Force at that time. We called it the Air Group. That was 1945 when we were discharged to the military. Out we went. And at that time, I was not sure whether I wanted to stay in with the Air Corps and join the Air Force this time. But I decided that, no, I wanted to get some work and contribute at home, as my other two brothers had done. Keep the four. Well, my mother had 7 children, and they were all needing clothing, need food, and I don't know how she did it during the war, but I was determined to make some contributions now and to help her when she didn't get the help before.